Welcome to Ocho and Censored. Today I have a spectacular interview for you. I'm here with Talia. She is a talented young lady who has been through immense struggle and is somehow still smiling, as you all can see, and just a world full of bubbly goodness, right? So today we're gonna talk to her about those struggles and how she's overcome. Next, I just partnered up with FNX Fitness, so look out for a new promo code that my subscribers will get. Also, I'm gonna do a giveaway probably in the next couple months with some of their products, so look out for that as well. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Talia Osinga. How you doing, young lady?
I'm good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm excited to have you on the show. If you don't know, I've already done 3 parts. She's my daughter, right? So I've done 3 parts on what happened to her, but she was never in the videos, right? So this is the first time that, you know, me and her are together doing a video, and I'm just excited for her to be here and her to share her story and share her secrets to success, right? So without further ado, I have a few questions for you. You ready?
Yes, I am.
All right. How old are you?
I'm 15.
Start it off real easy, okay?
Yeah.
We don't want to, you know, all right?
Uh-huh.
What do you enjoy doing?
I enjoy training my dogs. I enjoy listening to music, and I enjoy doing makeup.
Okay. Now, can you tell everybody what happened to you?
Yes, so basically, when I was 5 years old, I had a stroke, which left me paraplegic on my left side. So it left me with TBI, memory loss, PTSD, all that good jazz. So yeah.
All right. Now, has the stroke affected your everyday life? And if so, how?
Yes, it's definitely affected me. School is very hard for me because I can't remember due to the stroke.
Right, and the TBI, right?
Yeah. So when it comes to tests or quizzes or whatever, it's very hard to take everything that my teachers have taught me and put that into just a test.
Right.
It's very hard. My left leg likes to, you know, it's a lot because my leg hurts like really easily, and so it's hard to keep moving. Obviously, me, I like to just stick through all the pain I go through, and so I'll keep going, and yeah, so that's very hard, but trust me, I'm in a lot of pain, but I don't try to make it look like I'm in a lot of pain,
right.
when I'm with my family.
Which is probably deceiving, right, to a lot of people. Sometimes, you know, people will say, oh, she's just saying it because, you know, she wants to get out of things, but then you start saying, all right, I'm not gonna say nothing, right? But then, you know, so then they think you're good.
Yep.
You know, so I'm sure you go through a lot of that, right?
Yes.
A lot of people misjudging the way you come off compared to what you really feel like.
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
100%.
All right. What about like activities like, let's say riding your bike, or playing with friends at the monkey bars, or whatever, right?
Okay, so when it comes to riding a bike, normal bike would be 2 wheels and then, you know, the handles. Well, my bike has 3 wheels, a back piece, and a kind of like an all over. I don't know how to explain it to you guys. Basically, it kind of comes like this. Like I said, I'm sorry, I don't really know how to explain.
Like a bar?
Yeah, kind of like a bar.
So it's like a long handle.
Yes.
but it controls the entire front tire, so one hand can control it and
Yes.
swing it. I think is what we're talking about.
Yeah, like I said.
And so it's not that it doesn't impact, it's just that you've either found a way around it or they make equipment to assist you like the bike.
Yes.
Okay. So what about like cooking? Is that challenging?
It can be sometimes when it comes to cutting up something. Like you would normally hold, like let's say you want to cut an onion. You would normally hold the onion with one your hand and then cut it with your other hand.
Right.
Well, for me, I can't really do that. So I don't think I've ever cut an onion.
Well, we have diced it. We've cut like, so you have the whole onion and we've put it in slices so that way she can lay it flat.
Yeah.
And it's not going to roll all over the place or slip around, and she can just, you
Yeah.
know, chop it like that. So that's kind of how we worked it up to this point.
Yeah.
Everyday activities are challenging.
Yeah.
Right? No matter how much equipment, no matter any of that stuff, something as simple as cutting up an onion is problematic for you if somebody doesn't help you out a little bit and kind of prep it, right?
Yeah,
So,
kind of.
but you've also learned how to do a lot, like, how about your hair? A ponytail
Yes.
with one hand with this curly, crazy hair.
Yes, it's definitely difficult, but I've definitely just learned over the years through YouTube, through my therapist, and through my family. My family is definitely a really big help. So, you know.
So you've had some resources.
I've had some resources.
You know, I know that there was a lot of your therapists were very into researching for you
Yes.
the different things that you wanted to tackle, right?
Yes, definitely.
But it's awesome because, you know, they said that you would never walk.
Yes.
They said you would never talk and eat on your own, kind of vegetable-ish, right? And here you are
10
doing
years
your own,
later.
doing your own hair and just
Yeah.
rocking and rolling, man, knocking things out the park. So how do you stay so motivated and so pleasant? Because I know this has to be hard. You know, how about this? Friends. Do you have a lot of friends?
No, definitely not. I think when it comes to having friends, at least from my point of view, it's very hard for me to have any friends because I think my disability, I think when people see me, they're like, oh my God, look at her hand. You know, my hand is like this 24/7. I have literally no movement in my hand. And then you see my leg. I have a brace on my leg. So I walk a little different than normal people, I guess you could say. So when people see me, they're like, okay, that girl definitely is different.
Right.
But yeah,
So,
I definitely think having friends is a little bit harder for me because of my disability. But I promise, once you get to know me, it's really not that hard to be friends with me. I promise, I do. Like.
well, okay, so how do you stay so happy and in such a good mood, though you struggle with having friends, you struggle with some basic things, or you have to have an adapted version? And I know that has to leave you feeling certain ways sometimes.
Yes.
How do you overcome all these different emotions and just stay happy? Or
Well,
try.
Yeah,
Stay
try. Well.
Motivated. How about that?
Well, I think for me at least, I do suffer from depression, but on the other side of that, it's like, look at all these other amazing people out in their world that have no legs, no arms, they can't walk, they're in a wheelchair, they can't talk, they can't hear, they can't see, all this type of stuff. And if they are out in this world doing amazing stuff like driving or gymnastics or
there's like
swimming,
remember I went to rehabilitation with the therapist. His brother was born with no arms. Okay, and so he had to teach himself how to write with his feet, with his toes. And he was interviewing at the White House for a job.
Right.
Kid you not.
Like,
pretty
that's
cool stuff.
Amazing.
I think the key is to face the obstacle, right? You can run from it, you can cower down and say, oh, I'll never be able to do it, or you can just keep going at it until you do it, you know? And you'll learn along the way, you know, what doesn't work, but you also eventually learn what does work. So that's the exciting part. When you've tried to put your hair in a bun or in a ponytail by yourself for like 4 years and you haven't been able to do it, and then all of a sudden you learn, that's probably one of the best feelings in the world, and probably helps to encourage you to keep going as well, right?
Yeah, 100%.
That's awesome. All right, so I heard you got a dog, and I heard that you picked him up from the SPCA. Tell me a little bit about that and what you've done with that dog.
So, my dog, Max, is a rescue from the SPCA, like my dad said. And I talked to my doctor and my parents, obviously, and we all decided that I needed a service dog because meds didn't work, therapy didn't work, so the only other thing I could really think of was a service dog. Now, before, I never really knew anything about service dogs, but I did my research, and they've actually helped a lot of people with PTSD, or, you know, there's guiding dogs, you know, there's all this stuff. So
they can be trained to fit whatever it is that you need, I think, at this point.
I've seen service dogs hand a working person money. Like, that is so cool, right? So I, being the wonderful daughter that I am, decided to not allow my parents to spend thousands of dollars, because it would literally be thousands of dollars, on going to a training place to get my dog trained to be a service dog. I thought, well, I love dogs, and I've actually watched a couple of people on YouTube that have trained their own dog to be service dogs, and they are wonderful. So I decided to watch some YouTube videos and train Max to be a service dog by myself. Now, yes, it was a little hard, but I mean, he listened really good for the most part. I mean, yes, he's still a dog at the end of the day, so he is going to make mistakes, but don't we all? So, I definitely think that, it worked.
That's cool, though. That's cool that you took the time, right, to research on your own, because you wanted to do something noble for your parents, and it ended up becoming kind of a passion for you, right?
Yes,
and
definitely.
It's almost therapeutic, I think, to
100%.
work not just with your dog, but we have 3 now. But you like working with all dogs, and it's not even just training them, right? Just dealing with them.
Just being around dogs makes me, just seeing a dog just makes me feel like the happiest person ever. Like, I feel like there's nothing that can hurt me or stop me. Like, it just, I can't even put into words for you guys.
You taught yourself how to teach your dog, who, you know, one, just came from the SPCA.
I'm about to say,
and
like,
apparently was I think he was beat, right?
I definitely
Yeah.
think he was abused in the past.
So you've had to work around his own inabilities or
Yes.
his own reservations and fears, and
Mm-hmm.
so that's just a cool process, and I think that it's just really impressive for a young lady with TBI. You know, suffered from a stroke. You know, only one good arm, is able to somehow do this on a daily basis, and you're committed to it. You know,
Yeah,
and
I love it.
so that's real cool. So I'm sure there are tons of kids out here, or just not even kids, just people
Mm-hmm.
who have had strokes or face similar obstacles, similar disabilities, or we don't even like the word disabilities around here. Similar obstacles or hurdles.
That's what I was gonna say. Obstacles.
Okay, and if you could tell them anything, what would you tell them?
I would say keep fighting. If someone says you can't do it, prove them wrong. Be like, screw that, I can do this. And that's what I did. I mean, I remember I was in the hospital and the doctors were like, to me and my family, they were like, oh, by the way, you're never going to be able to walk, talk, eat, do anything. I was basically going to be a vegetable. And I was just like, okay, screw that. And
Similar obstacles or hurdles.
that's what I was going to say. Obstacles.
Okay, and if you could tell them anything, what would you tell them?
I would say keep fighting. If someone says you can't do it, prove them wrong. Be like, screw that, I can do this. And that's what I did. I mean, I remember I was in the hospital and the doctors were like, to me and my family, they were like, oh, by the way, you're never going to be able to walk, talk, eat, do anything. I was basically going to be a vegetable. And I was just like, okay, screw that. And I was able to walk. I was able to talk. And 10 years later, look at me. So I'm just letting you know that if anyone tells you you can't do something or if you feel like giving up, think about all the other people in the world that have no legs or no arms or that can't see or can't hear or whatever the case might be, and think about everything that they're doing, you know? So, yeah, just keep on fighting, you guys.
Just keep fighting. Never give up.
Don't give up.
Face the obstacle. Alright? It's easy to run away from the obstacle. But if you face it and keep fighting, eventually,
It's going to be worth it, definitely.
it'll be worth it. Yep. Alright, well, if people want to find you on social media, where can they find you?
You guys can find me here on YouTube at Talia's World. You can find me on Instagram at Talia Singa, and you can also find me on TikTok at Queen. Wait, no, sorry. You can find me on TikTok at QueenTalia.o.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on the show and doing this. I had a blast just talking to you. I think that you're an amazing young lady.
Thank you.
I wish you the best in the future, and I know that you'll be back on here on this
Yeah,
channel
definitely.
soon. I'm sure. All right. Well, guys, we love you. Look out for upcoming content. And again, Beard Struggle, May 10th.